Yeah, look at this. Watch this. So when I vlog, if I want to... Actually, can you film me doing this? It's very fun.
The saddest thing is I was demonstrating the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 to no one. I was all alone.
Please stand up. We would like to acknowledge you. Pwede po tumayo, ating mga filmmakers that are present here this evening. Come on guys, please stand up. Yeah. This is your night.
I was all alone.
So if I want to make my vlog cinematic, if I want to come and enter a scene, nice. And so if you want a vlogging camera, I would suggest this device.
I was with my friend at Tatatito. Okay, I'm a bit of an unreliable narrator. I wanted to make a statement like, even though when we're in a crowded room with friends, we're always alone. Artists are lonely. I think that's why I love filmmaking. I get to express these thoughts.
I think there's a better way to do this. I can't remember how to set it up. But...
And then the food arrives and the feelings are fleeting. Nothing matters but the meal. And there's nothing better than sharing a meal with friends.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Filmmakers are always making films. I don't know if I mentioned this in the other episode, but I met Chucky through the Sinag Manila Film Festival when I first got played here a while ago.
But in reality, filmmakers are inherently lonely. Seeing ourselves in the third person, there's always a fourth wall to break. There's something wonderful about vlogging in the Philippines. In Melbourne, there's a vibe that sometimes isn't too friendly towards film and photography. In the Philippines, it seems a lot more open to flavor.
Primarily, that's traditionally bone marrow soup. But for this particular one, they put it on a sizzling plate. Gravy, I think. That's the twist they did here.
Yeah. What's this one again? Lechon adobo. Yeah, lechon adobo.
Two Filipino national dishes.
Oh, pumpkin. The inside of that bone marrow, and just looking at it, you wouldn't know how top tier this tastes. Into that, I had a wave of melancholy because I know, like when I'm back home, I'm not going to be able to enjoy this for a long time till I'm back here. But it's the Filipino experience. Like Filipinos are always everywhere, so it's just part of my life. I wish I could stay here longer, but yeah.
But instead of being sad, I'm going to enjoy the time I have left.
I think the mall. Is there a shopping mall? Shopping. Yeah. How far? Okay. Thank you, Paul. Look at that. It's the colors that get me. Wow. This really is Manila. It's a beautiful view. Beautiful. Color, the feel, the vibe. Look at that. It's so beautiful.
It can be alienating seeing everything from a bird's eye view. Cinema and me don't really separate. This long tracking shot, it might be me capturing the moment, but without a camera in hand, I still see this shot. I still see this movement. I still see the framing. These whip pans, a knee-jerk reaction to show you how my mind actually works.
This is my long tracking shot for the vlog. Impulsively did that, and I hope it turns out as cinematic as I think it is in my head, but I might be wrong.
In my conversation with you, I am seeing the dialogue. A lover breaks up with me and I'm seeing a scene, but I'm also there living that scene. Recently there was a comment on one of my videos that mentioned, I had a revelation about why your content is so good. Your agility that you have to move the camera. It's really nice and smooth. I replied, I really feel like the camera is an extension of the body. It sounds kind of silly, but I do a little dance. An extension of the body. But this vlog is an extension of my mind. We live in an artificial world, but there's still beauty in that. A garden in a big, fancy mall. The sun still shines on that. The slabs of concrete, the labor of man, all of history, and in many ways we are all outsiders. Looking in, trying to get a peek, trying to understand. Here's what it is. Yeah.
I rarely put my camera down because obviously, but this area feels so safe.
It's my last day and I'm walking through this really nice kind of mall, green belt, and just the way the light hits, you know, coming through the trees and the way that the concrete is laid out and, you know, all this man-made kind of stuff, but at the same time, you know, the artfulness of it is quite beautiful. Yeah.
Sorry, thank you. But this, I was saying this area feels like a lot safer than other places. Like you can do something like this. And I actually have to get a shot of you actually.
I tried not to vlog as much. Like I just was like, maybe I shouldn't shoot too much and just like walk. But I kept seeing things and these things would stop me, like the way that a light hits like a plant.
Another thing I really like about Manila is like how friendly it is towards vloggers and just Asia in general. Like there's this real feeling like you can whip your camera out and vlog because it's not like looked down on or anything. But in Australia, like I've literally been yelled at for vlogging. And there's a perception around it, I think, that I don't know why Australians like really give weird looks to vloggers. And I don't know, like I haven't had any negative feelings here for doing this. Like I've literally been just vlogging as I do. But just then I had a weird look from someone. And funnily enough, that person was not Filipino. Like they were probably Australian, maybe American, I don't know. Like, and it makes no sense. And again, and again.
But side eyes and weird looks aside, it shouldn't stop you from expressing. If you feel you're here on Earth, to do that, then charge forward, camera in hand.
Beeping. Thank you. So they do a check to see people if they have anything that's, you know, of course can be, you know, dangerous. Because, you know, like if you look at the security guards in the Philippines, they just have, yeah, they've got guns on them, just shotgun.
Seeing the Philippine Swatch Watch got me thinking, how fast time jumps. My mother hadn't been back to the Philippines in 30 years. That's a long time. Next time I'll bring her here.
Wow.
I'll bring her back. I mean, I could take her to places she'd feel comfortable, places like the mall. What did my mum escape that made her not want to come back in so long?
Now we're in the other side of the malls on this mall tour. Everything is so clean cut and nice. And the way that
my mum should visit. Maybe it's an idea for a future vlog. Bring her back and film the experience, show her how much the world has changed.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find a Swatch store now. I'm getting the Swatch Philippines watch for sure. That's definitely something I have to bring home.
Turns out it's a vintage watch, nearly 30 years old. Made almost as long ago as when my mother was last in the Philippines. I was sitting here after my friend had left and I started feeling sad because I realized that it's going to be a while before I see my friends again. And not only is it going to be a while, but it might be a while before my film plays anywhere else again. And it might be a while before I step into the Philippines again, because that's just the nature of how life is. Because yeah, I've got things at home to attend to that I have to do. So these beautiful moments always come with a lingering sadness. And I can feel that in my present, but I also feel that in the future, I'll feel that. But I feel how I'm going to feel in the present because of how my mind as an artist has always been very, like I can feel joy and sadness at the same time, and I'm just built that way. Like maybe that's why I'm a film director, because I have or filmmaker or visual creative or whatever I am nowadays. Maybe that's why, because the poetry or the lens that I see the world in is through this poetry of loss, grief, but also like to experience loss and grief, you have to have loved and felt good. So, and I'm actually in love with life despite how sad I might seem sometimes. I think one of the reasons I seem sad a lot of the time is because I feel so good when I feel so good and so bad when I feel so bad. Is that not the basis of a really wonderful life, I think? Some people I know don't feel emotions how I do. I've got friends that process things differently. They don't maybe express the way I do. Everyone's different, of course. There's no right or wrong way to live. Despite some of my unfortunate circumstances and bad luck, I would never trade places with anyone else on this earth because it took so long to be me, despite my flaws and despite how difficult things have been in life. The struggle to create and have a stable life, the struggle to create and have stable relationships, the struggle to fight your own self-doubt, because creatives inherently are always doubting their work and who they are. I mean, I think in monologues, like I walk down the street and I'll see like a plant in a vase, and I'll think of like the water, the roots, and how things grow, and I'll tie that into a theme later on into something. That I just saw that then, and then that went through my head, and I'm like, okay, well, like nature, like a typhoon can just wipe things out, and I've been hoping that nature holds out and there's no rain, because for me, I'm on a holiday here and I want to experience that without the rain. But if the rain were to come, that would make it a true and whole experience, right? Despite me feeling sad about that. But you don't have any control over the weather. No one does. The film festival was the highlight of my year already. I mean, I love Japan. Japan was a great trip that I took and I enjoyed it. But when your film is screened in the motherland, a place that in this context is a joy, and it's been the great highlight of my year. Actually, last night was one of the most fun nights I've ever had in my life. When I was younger, I didn't understand how amazing this was, because I took it for granted. It's like life is short. This could be the last time I ever play a film festival. It could be the last time I ever make a movie, actually. I have no idea. I have no control over that. Like, I have no control over the weather. But that's okay, because as long as we have memories, and for as long as we have memories, then everything's okay. I think I'll end on that.